to be part of this second DPF meeting. I'm one of the very active nudger of the DPF unit in the Office of the Deputy President. And I must really say this is, Your Excellency, this is one of the very, very important actions that you have really held on to. And it's really going to turn tables around for our country. When we look at the theme, which is increasing effectiveness and development assistance and strengthening resilience, it really speaks to the currency of the challenges we are facing, but also huge opportunity to turn things around. When we look at the figures presented by Dr. Kipto, 256 projects, 2.6 trillion worth of money that is within the country from development partnerships, out of which only 700 billion has been disbursed. And when we talk about the challenges we are facing with absorption, these are real issues because with all the challenges that we have within the country, we really have to get things moving, because money lying somewhere and is not going to its intended use against a backdrop of many challenges is really not desirable. One of the issues that PS Kipto speaks to, he says that one of the challenges with the absorption of funding is where midway through a program, we have to change the program design or change the scope of things, and that can be cured by making sure that at the inception or conception of projects, we really have the involvement of all the players and make it as consultative as it can get. Balozi Henriette speaks to a very important issue. Instead of very ad hoc and disjointed unlocking and unblocking of things, streamlining is of critical importance. The question of coordination, standardization, really is what we need to go with. And I'm really happy to say that the many discussions I have personally held with our partners, David Gosney here knows the discussions we have had, Balozi Sebastian, UNDP, the World Bank, GIZ, who have really been supportive of our programs, really speaks to the need for us to speak to each other, have a very coordinated approach to things. And just to speak to one recommendation that has been made here, which is for all the projects to go through cabinet, it may not be feasible in the real sense of it because of the magnitude and the number of projects that we have to churn through cabinet. But what we are really saying is that the disjointed nature of how some of these projects are processed, they really become counterproductive and really undermine the impact that we need to see out of these projects. And probably what we need to say is that we have projects that are ongoing in our ministries, and I'm sure colleagues here can attest to it, that are very active, but the policy heads in the ministries, who are the cabinet ministers, have no idea of the projects going on. And I think that really is one of the challenges that we really have to streamline how we conceptualize, how these programs come on board to make sure that the siloing approach is really brought to an end. Siloing breeds a lot of darkness, opaqueness, and many other things. So if we open this up to transparency on both sides, it is going to be a maximization of impact. Finally, I want to say that I'm really pleased to have the operationalization of the outcome of the Africa Climate Summit as one of the identified, looking forward agenda for the DPF. The Africa Climate Summit, by all standards, came out very successfully, with the heavy support of all of you seated here. It is one that demonstrates how we can, hold together and deliver a very critical agenda, not just for Kenya, for Africa and the globe. The issue of green industrialization, the issue of review and relooking at the international global financial infrastructure to speak to the core needs of Africa, Kenya, and the issues that are at hand in terms of the climate agenda. The need to make sure that climate action and development are mutually inclusive. These are the discussions that came out of the Africa Leaders Declaration, which we must carry forward. And I'm happy to say that in line with what has been identified as a priority here, during our African Leaders Summit in Addis, Kenya got the green light from the African Union to put up a secretariat here in Nairobi. We are at advanced stages. I'm happy we're having discussions with the GIZ and other partners. So that is the place to start to really incubate the green industrialization ideas and bring them up to practical action. So my ministry is ready for that. And also from the aspect of coordination and streamlining and standardization, I like to tell Jane that with all the issues that we have discussed and some of the recommendations coming through, I am ready to work with the task force that has been proposed here as a guinea pig, because my docket, I'm sad to say that with the listing of the portfolios, the environment, climate change, and forestry docket does not appear. It comes at distant others. And I think with the issues that we are facing on the environment, climate change, and forestry and ecosystem restoration, I want to appeal to our partners that we really need to raise the profile of this docket so that we don't remain there in the others. We're actually not featuring anywhere. But when it comes to the practicality of what we need to do to re-engineer the partnerships, we have a lot of practical proposals that we offer to support the task force to actually help us come with the standardization that we are looking for, the streamlining and making everything move forward, and not to overemphasize the importance of the resilience framework that we are talking about. We have to move away from firefighting to actually have very intentional and defined ways in which to respond to the disasters all around us. And Your Excellency, the process that we are undertaking as cabinet secretaries and principal secretaries of disseminating our MTP4 across the counties, when you look at the aspect of resilience that is captured in our MTP4, it really falls short of a very elaborate view of what resilience interventions we need to see in this country. And I'm sure with this initiative through your office, we need to enrich our MTP4 and our strategies on disaster risk management. With those few remarks, I want to conclude and say asanteni.